Uh, Abstract brainwaves, game genie in the beanie. We ain't on the same stage, leveled up.
Other yellow hat guy here, back with another video. And let's talk Sony. We've got to talk Sony. Why? Sony is doing things that I don't like again. And you're like, well, you don't like it. Yeah, a lot of you won't like what they're doing right now. All right, so let's start out with what it is that's going on in the next couple months. An article came out from thegamer.net, I believe that's the website. And that's not a site that I'm very familiar with, so I took it with a grain of salt. I talked it with, some like-minded gamers who, not only play these games but collect them. And I like digital stuff. I used to go to pawn shops, thrift stores, and buy all kinds of used movies and games and CDs because I couldn't afford it at regular price, right? Some of you shop at these places too, channels like the Game Chasers and what have you, they show you, hey, we go around to these thrift stores, Pat the NES Punk, Metal Jesus Rocks, all those guys, they get this stuff secondhand and add it to their collections. Great. While I still enjoy the thrill of that hunt, I still like to have digital games if and when possible, just to save space. I realize the older that I get, the time at which I have to enjoy these games is against me when it comes to relationships, work, other hobbies, just the time. Some of you have, spouses and children. It's just not going to be there, okay? To sit and play an 80-hour game, 100-hour game, and you get these backlogs, that are so massive. When do you find time? It's just hard. So what does that have to do with what I'm talking about? Sony announced, well, that's the problem. Sony didn't announce that in the next coming months, July and August, they are removing the PlayStation Store from the devices of the PSP, PSVita, and PS3. So what that's saying is you'll no longer be able to download content from those. Well, maybe not a big deal if you've moved on from those. But what if you get a new one of those in the next coming weeks? Maybe you're okay. You're in a mad dash to download everything. But what if you need the DLC? What if there's updates? You're just out of luck, I guess. And it wouldn't be that damaging if it was just like Vita and PSP. But PS3, which has a massive backlog of content, you're just SOL in. And it hurts because it feels like they're forcing you to get the PS5 or the PS4. Now, the PS Now, all those games, they could just move a lot of that content there. And that's probably what they're going for, in my opinion. But some people are like, oh, no big deal. They're just removing the store. They'll be able to let you these updates. No, a lot of this stuff was contingent on the store providing you that. It's not just the store. The server is gone. And Sony has not come out of their mouths to say what exactly the extremity of this matter is. And that's what's really rubbing me the wrong way, because I feel like Sony could have at least told you ahead of time. There was no email. There was nothing on the PlayStation Network telling you all this. It's just this third-party site giving you this information. Some of you are like, well, you know what? When new consoles come out, you can't expect them to support older stuff. And I get that. At least with Nintendo telling you that the Mario stuff isn't coming back, they gave you ample warning. They told you ahead of time. And you may not like that. It is what it is. But you had the opportunity to go ahead and get those games when they were available, to download that content and enjoy it when it was available. I believe that content will come back, just maybe not at that price point. But that's for another video. Maybe even the next video. But check it. If you bought the PS5, you'll know that they rushed that system, man. They rushed it. While I'm happy to say I have a PS5, that's really all that there is to it. I should have just kept my PS4 Pro for a little bit longer. Like I said, it's just the opportunity was there, and I chose to strike while the iron was hot. You know what I mean? No themes. There's limited storage space. You know, you think you're getting 1 terabyte. Reality is you're getting 800 something gigabytes. And out of that 800, you're really only getting 600. What I'm really upset about, Sony, if any of you guys are watching, and maybe you won't, and that's fine, because people ask me questions all the time about am I aware of certain things, and it's like, well, you guys don't watch the videos because I've already probably talked about that, and maybe you guys do. I know some people, you know, your immediate presence is to scour the internet and look for videos like this, and maybe you don't care. My relationship with Sony is not really great right now, considering what happened with the PS3 for me, and I won't discuss that really here. Let's just say I had to make a new account. Not only that, they justify this headset adapter by saying we're making a PS5 camera. Oh, by the way, that's $50, but it's not compatible with the VR. Okay, fine. Maybe I never bought the VR, so this camera is what I need. But if you bought the VR, you're SOL. Because not only is the 5 camera not compatible, but your 4 camera is not compatible because it has a proprietary attachment that is required to use. So if you had the Iron Man VR, maybe it came with one. If you bought a second-hand headset, SOL. You can go on eBay and pay the scalper price for it. That's what a lot of people are hoping for. They're saying, hey, I got rid of my VR or sold it, or maybe I just don't want it anymore. I'll sell the adapter part separately from the actual console. So you may not even be aware of what you're getting. So nice guy, good guy Sony said, hey, we'll give you an adapter free if you bought the VR. So in order to prove that you bought the VR, you've got to give your processor number, okay, your serial number off the processor. But guess what, you know, maybe I just want to use my PS4 camera. Why are you making me buy a brand new camera? That's what's very irritating. It's the camera adapter that you should be selling in stores and or including with the PS5. Or just make the PS5 camera, if that's what you want people to buy, compatible with the PS5. Or, excuse me, well, not, yeah, it's with the PS5, but with the PS4 Pro headset so that it can be used on your PS5. Very, very frustrating stuff. And all this would have been prevented if Sony would have just had clear communication, as I'm trying to communicate clearly, with their audience, with their fan base. They've got these games out now, and they're pretty much an apology. That's what these games are. These PS4 games, these PlayStation Plus games that were blockbuster games on the 4, they're giving you on the 5 for free. They're pretty much an apology for the lackluster effort that Sony put out here. I can't even make this video long enough to express my disdain for how all of this went down. This whole removal of the store is just icing on the cake because there's a lot of people who maybe they want the 5, but it ain't available. It ain't available, and especially not at the price that's appropriate. I don't even think $500 for this was appropriate. All those PS4 themes that I purchased, good luck to that. Why keep the 4 when the 5 plays 4 games? That's forward thinking. Why keep the 3 when the 4 plays... Nope, it actually doesn't. You had a model of the 3 that plays 2 games. But hey, that might die on you in the next couple of years. Better get that PS Now subscription going. What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Now, they knew this was going to irritate some people. They knew it was going to tick people off. That's why they didn't say anything and post it. Maybe by now, by the time this video's up, somebody can correct me. Oh, they did say something in small print somewhere, but I should have gotten an email alerting me from this, Sony. Everyone should have gotten an email notifying us this. You're saying in July this is going to start for not just one platform, but all of these. Minus the I believe it's the Vita. Maybe the Vita gets like the longest, or the 3. One of those two gets until August. It's still ridiculous either way because we're already in March, almost the end of March. So you're saying in 3 months. In 3 months, that's all the time you have. Let me know your thoughts. Do you have the adapter? Are you okay with them removing the store? I can't imagine some of you are. The only people I can imagine who are okay with it are people who never had those systems in the first place, or maybe you've already pirated the software or plan to. It's just ridiculous at this point how they can. They're pretty much. They had no plan to. They had no smooth transition to get you into getting the PS5 to begin with. That's what's really irritating. On top of everything, like had they just had a plan and said, okay, the 5 store, we're gonna remaster some of these 3 games or something like that. There's just nothing there for any of us, and you just have to sit back and take it. Just enjoy those consoles if you still have them. Maybe the price skyrockets for some of these older consoles because, well, a massive library of these games, it's only available there. I mean, just think about it. Rock Band. There's songs you still want to play. It's over with for you. Better upgrade to the PS4 if you don't have it already. Better upgrade to the 5. And even then, it's not like all of that content is promised to you just because you have the newest console. There's a lot of PS4 content that's not available for PS5 because they just don't want to support it anymore. And I understand, hey, our servers, we want to make room for other stuff. But what else do you have? You have nothing. You are rehashing PS4 games right now. There's no PS5 content out there that's like, oh, I've got to have this. There's a handful of games. That might be the Final Fantasy 7 and the 16. The God of War, they're not even talking about. There's really nothing out right now that you're like, I've got to have this. Really, a lot of us got it because it's the new thing. We're stuck at home, and it's the future. And you got people who are just exploiting that desire, that keeping up with the Jones, and they want to flip these consoles for profit. But hey, I hope to see you again in the next video. But if I don't, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Other Yellow Hat Guy out. Captain Sensation.